Tapos na tayo kay loop pattern. Ngayon naman ay kay whirl pattern. So, yung whirl, meron siyang apat na subtype, yung plain whirl, central pocket loop whirl, double loop whirl, at yung accidental whirl. So, yung first natin is si plain whirl. Yung plain whirl is a pattern consisting of two deltas. So, meron siyang dalawang delta, yung left delta at yung right delta. And in which at least one ridge make a turn through a complete circuit. So kahit isang complete circuit lang daw ng circle or any variant ng circle o mapa-oval man, circular man, o spiral. So eto yung mga complete circuit niya. An imaginary line drawn between the two deltas must touch. So, yung imaginary line daw na galing kay left delta papunta kay right delta must touch or cross at least one of the recurving or circuiting ridges within the pattern area. So, kailangan may tumama daw na complete circuiting ridges doon sa imaginary line. So yan, merong tumama na complete circuiting ridges o yung circuits. So yung element niya, complete circuit, dalawang delta, at least one circuiting ridge is touched by or cross. So yan yung plain whirl. Okay, another example ng plain whirl. Ito yung left delta. Gumawa ng imaginary line papunta sa right delta. And then, yung imaginary line tumama sa complete circuiting ridges. Yan yung complete circuiting ridges. Ibig sabihin siya ay plain whirl. Ito pa, tumama din yung imaginary line drawn between left delta to right delta, tinamaan yung isang complete circuiting ridges. Another example, ito. Tumama din yung imaginary line na drawn between left delta to right delta. So, yan yung plain whirl. Next is yung central pocket loop whirl. So, yung pagkakaiba lang ng central pocket loop whirl at si plain whirl, yung central pocket loop whirl ay walang recurving ridge within the pattern area na matatamaan ng imaginary line drawn between the two delta from left delta to right delta. So, hindi tinamaan yung complete circuit ng imaginary line. So, yan yung pagkakaiba ng plain whirl at saka ng central pocket loop whirl. Another example, ito yung left delta. Ito naman yung right delta. So, gumawa ng imaginary line from left delta to right delta. Hindi tinamaan yung complete circuiting ridge ng imaginary line. Another example, yung sa kabila, hindi rin tumama yung imaginary line sa complete circuiting ridge. So, yan yung central pocket loop whirl. Next is yung double loop whirl. This is a pattern consisting two separate and distinct loop formation. Ito yung loop formation niya. Yan yung loop formation. Kailangan dalawa daw yung loop formation ng double loop whirl. Two set of shoulder. O may shoulder silang dalawa. And dalawang delta. Ito yung left delta and yung right delta. So, element niya, tandaan nyo lang, pag double loop whirl, tandaan nyo lang na meron siyang separate loop formation. Yan. At syempre, mayroong dalawang delta at separate distinct set of shoulder. Yan yung double loop whorl. Ito yung loop pattern. At yung shoulder, ito yung shoulder nila. Yan. At meron silang dalawang delta. The last subtype ng whorl, yung accidental whorl. The accidental whorl is a pattern consisting a combination of two different types of pattern within the exemption of plain arc. So, hindi kasali yung plain arc sa accidental whorl. With two or more deltas or a pattern which possesses some of the requirements for two or more different types or a pattern which conform to none of the definition. So, yung accidental whorl may be a combination ng loop and ended arc, loop and whorl, loop and central pocket loop, double loop and central pocket loop, or other such combination. Ito yung halimbawa ng accidental whorl. So, yung nasa loob is loop at whorl. Yung element ng accidental whorl, the first is combination of two different types of pattern with exception of plain arc. So, except yung plain arc, hindi siya kasali sa accidental whorl. At meron siyang two or more delta. Okay, another example. Yung fingerprint pattern na nasa loob ng accidental whorl ay loop at whorl. Okay, another example, ito yung combination ng loop pattern at yung tented arc. Okay, tapos na tayo sa family ng whorl. So, kilala nyo na o alam nyo na kung paano identify si plain whorl, si central pocket loop whorl, si double loop whorl, at si accidental whorl. Ngayon naman, aalamin natin yung ridge tracing ng whorl. Yung ridge tracing, this is a process of tracing the ridge that originates from the left delta flowing towards the right delta, or near that point, and determining the number or intervening ridges between the trace ridge and right delta to constitute the three subdivision. Yung I represent as inner, N represent as meeting, and O represent as outer. Rules and ridge tracing. Number 1, kailangan daw yung ridge tracing always start from the left delta proceeding to the right delta or nearest to that point. Ito yung left delta. And ito naman yung right delta. So, mag-start daw yung ridge tracing dito kay left delta. Papunta kay right delta or sa harap ni right delta. Okay, another example. Ito yung left delta. So, mag-start yung ridge trace is yung sa type lines na malapit kay left delta. So, i-trace siya hanggang umabot kay right delta. So, yan yung rule number 1. Always start with the left delta, papunta kay right delta yung pag-trace ng ridge. Number 2 na rule, when the ridge being traced ends abruptly. So, naputol daw yung ridge na na-trace nyo. So, ang gagawin nyo, drop to the next ridge below to continue the tracing until the trace ridge run into or opposite the right delta. So, pag naputol, ito yung ito yung left delta, mag-start na tayo ng ridge tracing, biglang naputol yung ridge. So, yung next is drop to the next ridge below. Ito yung next ridge below. And then, naputol na naman, drop again to the next ridge below to continue the tracing until the trace ridge run into or opposite the right delta. So, hanggang makarating kayo sa harap ni delta o ni right delta. Nag-stop na dito yung tracing. So, yan yung rule number 2. Kapag yung na-trace nyo na reach ay naputol or ends abruptly. Rule number 3. When the reach being traced is a bifurcation. Kapag bifurcation naman daw yung reach na na-trace. So, always follow the lower branch until the tracing is complete. So, follow lang daw yung lower branch ng bifurcation. Yan. Follow the lower branch hanggang umabot sa harap ni right delta and then make an imaginary line papunta kay right delta. Okay, so yan yung mga rules and ridge tracing forward. Okay, yung susunod is yung result ng ridge tracing. So, yung ilalagay nyo na result. Kung sa ridge counting is number yung ilalagay na ridge count dito sa ridge tracing ay hindi. Yung ilalagay dito is capital letter I for inner, M for meeting, and O for outer. So, yung number 1, when the ridge being traced from the left delta to the right delta passes inside or in front. Inside or in front, tandaan nyo, inside or in front of the right delta, and there are 3 or more ridges cross or touch the imaginary line drawn between the right delta and the ridge trace. The result of tracing is inner and represented by capital letter I. So, mag-start tayo ng trace sa left delta papunta kay right delta. Ito yung left delta. I-trace natin yung ridge papunta sa harap ni right delta. Okay, nag-stop. Na yung trace in front of right delta, then make an imaginary line. Okay, after nakagawa ng imaginary line, i-count yung mga ridges na tinamaan ng imaginary line. So, i-count natin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, 8 yung ridges na tinamaan ng imaginary line. So, more than 3 yung counts natin. So, ibig sabihin, yung inner is 3 or more ridges cross or touch the imaginary line. So, ito na yung result natin. Inner or I, represent as I. Okay, next. Example. Ito yung delta. So, mag-start tayo ng trace papunta sa harap ni right delta. And stops sa harap ni right delta and make an imaginary line and count all the ridges na tinamaan ng imaginary line. 1, 2, 3. So, 3 yung ridges na tinamaan ng imaginary line. Ibig sabihin, pasok pa siya sa inner. Kasi 3 or more ridges cross or touch the imaginary line. Tandaan nyo lang kapag nag-conduct kayo ng ridge tracing sa whorl pattern, kapag yung ridge trace ay huminto or nag-stop inside or in front of the right delta. And yung number ng ridges na tinamaan ng imaginary line is 3 or more, that is I, inner. So, yung inside or in front, dapat dito lang. Sa taas ng right delta. Hindi siya pwedeng nandito sa baba ng right delta. Dapat dito lang siya sa harap ng right delta kapag inner yung result nyo. Number 2, when the ridge being traced passes on either inside or outside. So, tandaan nyo, inside or outside naman of the right delta, and there are two or less ridges that cross or touch the imaginary line drawn between the right delta and the ridge trace. The result of tracing is meeting and represented by capital letter M. Likewise, when the trace reach exactly stop at the right delta, such trace shall be considered as meet. Okay, tingnan natin yung example. Ito yung left delta. Ito siya. And yung right delta. So, mag-trace na tayo from left delta to right delta. Then stop sa harap ni delta. So, make an imaginary line. So, ilan yung tumama na ridge sa imaginary line? I-count natin, 1. Only 1 yung tinamaan ng imaginary line. So, yung result niya is meeting. Kasi 2 or less ridges na tinamaan ng imaginary line is considered as meet or meeting, letter M. Another example, so ito yung left delta. Trace natin papunta sa right delta, naputol, and then proceeds tayo sa baba, yung next na ridge niya, and then stop in front of right delta. Then make an imaginary line and count the ridges na dinaanan ng imaginary line. 1, 2. So, dalawa. Pasok siya sa meet or meeting. 2 or less ridges. So, katandaan nyo lang kapag yung meet, pwede siya inside or outside. Pwedeng dito yung trace mag-stop at pwedeng dito sa baba ng right delta mag-stop. Basta 2 or less lang yung ridge na tinamahan ng imaginary line. Next, number 3, when the ridge being traced passes outside or below. Ibig sabihin, sa baba ng right delta. Dito sa baba ng right delta. And there are 3 or more ridges that touch or cross the imaginary line drawn between the right delta and trace ridge. The result of the tracing is outer and represented by capital letter O. Halimbawa, ito yung left delta. And then, ito naman yung right delta. Ito yung first na ridge na i-trace natin, naputol. So, baba tayo, naputol na naman, baba na naman tayo, and hanggang makaabot tayo sa baba ng right delta. And then stop. Ito na yung imaginary line na ginawa. I-count natin kung ilan yung ridges na tinamaan ng imaginary line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, 8 yung tinamaan na ridges ng imaginary line. More than 3, ibig sabihin outer siya. O, represent as letter O yung result ng ridge tracing niya. Basta 3 or more, kapag outside or below, dito sa baba, yan ay outer. Okay, another example. Ito yung left delta. Mag-trace tayo, naputol. Next sa baba, naputol na naman. Hanggang makaabot tayo sa baba ng right delta. So, nag-stop. Count yung ridges na tinamaan ng imaginary line. 3 ridges. So, pasok siya sa outer or letter O. Okay, tapos na tayo sa ridge tracing and yung result ng ridge tracing ng word. Now we will proceed to the ridge tracing for accidental and a double loop word. Number 1, accidental often possess 3 or more deltas. Yung accidental word daw ay mayroong 3 or more delta. Sa pag-trace sa kanila, only yung extreme delta are considered. So, ito yung accidental word. Tatlo yung delta na makikita ninyo. Ito yung first, second, and yung third na delta. So, yung kukunin daw ninyo na delta, yung pinaka-extreme delta. Ito yung extreme left delta kasi malapit siya sa type lines. And yung extreme right delta naman is ito naman siya. Ito yung extreme right delta ninyo. Kapag nag-trace kayo, mag-start kayo sa left o extreme left delta. Papunta sa extreme right delta. Same pa rin yung gagawin nyo. Stop kayo sa harap ng right delta and then make an imaginary line. Then count the ridges na tinamaan ng imaginary line. So, dalawa yung ridges na tinamaan ng imaginary line, ibig sabihin, meeting yung result ninyo dito. So, yan yung ridge trace or accidental word. Number 2, in double loop or accidental, the problem of where to stop tracing is sometimes presented. So, tandaan nyo lang, the rule is, when the tracing passes inside of the right delta, stop at the nearest point to the right delta on the upward trend. So, eto siya yung halimbawa ng double loop word. So, eto yung double loop word. Mag-start daw kayo doon sa left delta. Ito yung left delta. Ito naman yung right delta. So, mag-trace kayo sa ridge na connected sa kay left delta. And then, pag nakarating na kayo sa harap ng right delta, mag-stop. And then, make an imaginary line. And count the ridges na tinamaan ng imaginary line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, 8 yung tinamaan ng imaginary line, ibig sabihin, inner siya. Kasi yung outer dito sa baba. Yung inner dito sa taas. So, yan. Yung result niya is inner. More than 3 ridges yung tinamaan ng imaginary line. So, another example. So, ito yung left delta. Ito naman yung right delta. Double loop word. Nakalagay sa figure na ito, if no upward trend is present, walang upward trend daw. Ito yung upward trend na sinasabi niya yung may pattern ng loop. Kapag walang upward trend daw sa taas ng right delta, ibig sabihin, continuous tracing until maabot yung right delta. So, we will continue the tracing. Kasi hindi siya pwedeng mag-stop dito kasi malayo pa siya kay right delta. Hindi rin siya pwedeng mag-stop dito kasi hindi rin siya aabot kay right delta. Kasi wala siyang upward trend o upward trend. Yung pattern, hindi niya tatamaan yung loop pattern. So, yung gagawin is continue lang yung pag-trace hanggang makarating kay right delta. So, yung result ng tracing na yan is a meeting. Kasi, yung nakalagay sa rule, pag meeting is 2 or less 2 or less yung ridge na natamaan ng ridge, yung ridge na natamaan ng imaginary line. Pero kapag walang tinamaan o walang imaginary line na gagawin dahil nag-stop siya sa kay right delta, meeting pa rin yung result niya. Kasi nakalagay dito sa number 2, likewise, when the trace is reached exactly stop at the right delta, such trace shall be considered as meet. So, meeting, nag-stop siya doon sa right delta.